Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Bellingham. We're glad you're here, whether you're online or with us here. We're going to have fun today. I'm Cindy Clay, and I am a licensed prayer practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living, and I'm also going to be giving the talk today, so I'm going to have fun anyway. So let's get started with a song.
Good morning, everybody. We're going to sing into this glorious sunshiny day together. Swing open my heart. If you can stand with us, we're going to move our bodies a little bit too. Shake off some of the worry that you might be feeling in your body. I don't know about you. All right, here we go. Swing open my heart. Give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up. Get right back to the start. This is how I was made, free from the worry and free from the fear. I know spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Swing open my heart, give thanks for the day. Gonna let love fill me up, get right back to the start. This is how I was made, free from the worry, free from the fear. I know spirit is peace, loving kindness in me right now, right here. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Singing, don't worry, no, don't worry about a thing, every little thing is gonna be alright. Let's sing, don't worry. Singing, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Don't worry. Singing, don't worry. No, don't worry about a thing, 'cause every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing, yeah, every little thing is gonna be alright. Every little thing, yeah, every little thing is gonna be alright. Sing it out one last time. Yeah, every little thing is gonna be alright. All right. Well, take a minute to greet some of those neighbors out there. Say hello to maybe someone you don't know or someone you do know. welcome here. We made it. Thanks, y'all. Hey, well, the kiddos, any kids who are here with us today for our children's program, do we have any young ones? Well, they might arrive a little late. Oh, well, there's a couple. Okay, come up to stage. Join these teachers up here on stage, and we're going to sing you. You get to go outside into this glorious weather. We're going to sing Hooray for the World. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world is a special place. Got Mother Nature and the human race. The world's got trees and bumblebees, rivers and lakes and the open seas, mountains and valleys and the animals too, and a sun that shines on me and you. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, I'm glad to be on it. Hooray for the world, it's a special place. Got Mother Nature and the human race. We got Mother Nature and the human race.
Good morning. So I'm Kalish Leviel, your practitioner for today, along with Leo Brody and Wanda Maddox. And if you see somebody else wearing one of these stoles, you know it's somebody you can go up to ask for a prayer, even Cindy. So we like doing that, just so you know. It helps us feel connected. That's our job. And I wanted to bring highlight to our 7 a.m. prayers every morning, Monday through Friday, at 7 o'clock in the morning. You can join us for prayer. We do it on Zoom, and the link is on our website. And you don't even have to get out of bed to do it. I have my watch set for 6:54 in the morning, and by the time I get on, it might be almost 7, and I get to hear the prayers. I don't turn my camera on. I know better. Nobody could see anything in the dark anyhow, but so it's my job, though, to do prayer for you right now. This is the invocation. I want you to take a minute and breathe. Breathe in, and don't forget to breathe out. And get settled here for a moment so that we invite the divine, the spirit within, the infinite God that is everywhere present. We invite that to settle us into our space here and get us ready with open hearts and open minds to hear, letting it flow, to hear Cindy. I was getting ready to say Reverend Cindy. She's going to ministerial school. Anyhow, getting ready to hear Cindy, let it flow, and getting ready to know the divine in deep gratitude, and thanking sweet spirit. We know it is good and very good, and so it is. So it is.
Loving Spirit dwells in me. This is my divinity. unfolded me, it has revealed to me life's nothing less than sublime. With every thought I make, every last breath I take, may I be gracious and kind. Love, I invite you to open this heart of mine. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Kindness wash over me, make me a symphony, play every note you can find. Make me reverberate, gently deactivate, slowly flow out of my mind. Find me a melody, dance in my anthem beat. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. I will not be shaken. I will not be moved. Love, cover me. May my heart awaken, tenderness be proved. Love, cover me. Love, cover me. Let's sing love together. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Just like that, sing love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love. Just voices, love, cover me. Love, cover me, light any darkness. Love, cover me, right every wrong. Cause me to see love over hatred. Guide me to be faithful and strong. Love, cover me. 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 Love, love, love. Love, 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 love. Love, 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 love.
Boy, was that gorgeous. Thank you. And I don't know how they did this, but all that music perfectly relates to what I want to talk about. So that one mind in operation. So again, I'm Cindy Clay, and yes, I started ministerial school yesterday. And so did Michael Tatlock. So, the two of us are going to be doing this for a couple of years. But when Rev Deb asked me if I would talk today, and she told me the Centers for Spiritual Living had kind of established that the topic was It Flows, I was like, it flows, huh? And I started thinking about this in December. So in December, I was driving around in my car listening to Christmas carols on the radio. And so this topic became, let it flow, let it flow, let it flow. That's what happened. And so that's why it's let it flow, right? So immersed in Christmas carols. So that got me thinking about the whole idea of being in a flow state. Have you heard of that concept? So that was a concept that was coined by a Hungarian psychologist named Mihail Csikszentmihalyi. 16 letters, 4 syllables. I am not spelling it for you. If you want to learn more, come up. You can take a picture of his name and go look him up. But he was doing a lot of work in the 80s. And so he started examining what makes people happy. And he looked at 50 years of research and noted in the research, believe it or not, money does not make people happy. If you don't have any, you're unhappy. But you get to a certain point where your needs are met, and just a skosh more, and then beyond that, money doesn't add any more to your happiness. It just plateaus. So you can be a billionaire, we got a lot of them right now, and not be happy. There's no correlation between it. So he started thinking, okay, so what does make people happy? So they did a study in the 80s where they gave people pagers, and his research team would ping them 10 times a day, and they would stop whatever they were doing and note where were they, what were they doing, and they would rate themselves on a happiness scale. Isn't that a cool study? And so they gathered all this data with thousands of people who participated, and what they realized is that there are certain things happening when people are truly happy. Would you like to know what they are? Yes. Yeah. So people are truly happy when they're working on a task that is rewarding and personally meaningful. So it matters. It feels like it makes a difference in the world. When the task is challenging, it stretches you, but it doesn't feel impossible. So you're doing something you love. It's difficult, but not impossible, right? You've probably developed some skill level in it. And it requires you to focus. It requires you to invest time and energy in doing that task, okay? And finally, it gives you immediate feedback while you're working on it. So you're course changing while you work on it. And when those elements were present, I'm going to try and say his name, Csikszentmihalyi, I have to think about it. Csikszentmihalyi said, you're moving into a flow state, okay? And so I'm going to tell you a story about a time that I went into a flow state and see if you recognize a time when you've been in a flow state. So when I was young, I started taking piano lessons at 8 years old. And when I was 12 years old, my family moved to Dallas, Texas, which is why I have a little Texas accent. And my dad was a university professor at Southern Methodist University, and so he enrolled me in the piano preparatory department. Very intense program that I was in for 6 years, and studying, I thought at the time, to be a concert pianist. And so I practiced an hour or two a day. Most of the time, I loved practicing. There were times when I didn't, but, and I loved performing. I loved playing the piano. And so my senior year, we all had to do a recital, and there was like 6 of us in this program, so a small group all working together through this program. And so we went to do a recital. Now, I loved all the classical composers that just tug at your heart. So I particularly loved Brahms. And so I was at this recital. I was waiting backstage. It was my turn to go out to a stage, an audience about this size, big, beautiful grand piano. I sat down at the grand piano, and I started to play Brahms' Rhapsody in G minor. And as I played it, I suddenly realized that my hands were moving without my personal volition. I was watching my hands play this beautiful piece, and it was an amazing experience because I was outside of myself and I was no longer controlling what was happening, and I felt the music just pouring through me. And it was as if I had nothing to do with this. I was merely an observer of this gorgeous, beautiful music. And so I got to the end of the piece, and I was practically shaking at the end because it was such a profound experience. And I kind of took my hands off the keys. I was just stunned. And I sat there, and so did the whole audience. We all sat there for about 30 seconds, just going, it was totally transcendent. And it was nothing that I made happen, and I had no words to describe it. But dang, I knew I wanted to experience that again, right? So that is the experience of being in a flow state. And some philosophers have called that state ecstasy. So ecstasy, the definition is an overwhelming feeling of great happiness or joyful excitement. And it comes from a Greek word that literally means outside of oneself. Isn't that interesting? So when you're outside of yourself, experiencing that beauty, okay? So you're in a flow state when you are deeply focused on a task. I don't know how I did that, but let's hope I don't do it again. Okay. So let me tell you about being in a flow state. So when you're deeply focused on a task, that's actually one of the characteristics of it is that deep focus. But something is happening in your brain. So they've studied what's going on in your brain when you enter a flow state. And basically the prefrontal cortex of your brain shuts down and redirects all the energy to the other aspects of your brain. And your prefrontal cortex is your executive function. It's the part of you that judges. You judge yourself, you judge everything outside you. It controls your thinking, your conscious thinking. And so it goes away. And because it goes away and all that activity is redirected to other parts of your brain that start to synchronize in harmony with each other, you experience the sensation of the ego disappearing. That part of you that needs to control it goes away. It just disappears. So that sense of who you are disappears. Isn't that interesting? I sort of feel like it. You disappear into the one mind. I think that's what it feels like to me. So the other thing that's happening in your brain is that you're releasing endorphins. What's the other chemical? I've got to look. Dopamine. The happiness chemicals are flooding your brain so that you feel that sense of ecstasy and joy. And your sense of time stops. Some people describe it as time moves really quickly, and some people describe it as time moves really slowly. But basically, you don't have any sense that time is passing. Oh, one more interesting thing about it. You don't experience hunger, fatigue, the need to go to the bathroom. All of those physical sensations disappear as well. Okay, so I'm telling you all about it, but because I really want to ask you in a second whether you've been in a flow state, because flow states happen in all kinds of experience. Musicians and composers experience flow states all the time, but so do actors. Like actors often talk about the fact that they walk on stage to begin a part, and if they had any pain anywhere in the body, it just disappears. It's no longer there. I made a whole list of people that have flow states: sculptors, painters, athletes. I told Leo about this, and he was like, programmers. They can happen in many conditions. Quilters, knitters, Anybody working intensely on something they love, even video gamers, although there might be some problems with that, but, dancers, gardeners, meditators, and people who pray can move into that flow state. So, have you ever been in a flow state? Just do that. Yeah. Now, if you're feeling jealous of the people that say they have, I want you to, somebody just held up a sign that says 0, and I don't know what that means. 10, oh great. It's going to be longer than 10, so don't tell her. Anyway, so I'm going to tell you how to get there, because Csikszentmihalyi thought we would all be happier if we could choose to move into flow states. And so I'm going to tell you how to create the conditions for that. But this is where all of this connects with science of mind. And so this is what Ernest Holmes has to say in the Science of Mind textbook. Perhaps the simplest way to state the proposition is to say that we are surrounded by a mind or intelligence that knows everything, that the potential knowledge of all things exists in this mind, that the abstract essence of beauty, truth, and wisdom coexist in the mind of the universe, that we also exist in it and may draw from it. But what we draw from it, we must draw through the channel of our own minds. A unity must be established, and a conscious connection must be made before we can derive the benefits which the greater mind is willing to reveal or impart to us. It's about that conscious connection must be made. So Ernest Holmes might say that if you want to get into the zone or a flow state, he probably said neither one of those things, you have to create a conscious connection to the one mind and allow that to move through you, to express as you. And so this is one reason why having a daily spiritual practice is so important. Even if it's just meditating for 5 minutes a day, you are laying the foundation for creating that conscious spiritual connection, or reading inspirational literature for a few minutes every day, or coming to morning prayer at 7 a.m. and starting your day with morning prayer anchors you so that you're able to make that conscious connection. Praying before you walk into a big meeting, or praying before a difficult conversation, okay? All ways to just anchor you so that you know that you are one with your source. And that allows you to create that sense of ease and flow. I've done a lot of writing in my work. So I've written articles and blog posts and newsletters and a couple books. And I've learned that if I take a few minutes before I sit down to write, to just allow the one mind to be my mind, that writing is easy. It's a pleasure. And I get fantastic ideas and I go with them, and write. And often I turn them over to Leo because he's a great editor. And they're pretty good, aren't they, right? They're not perfect. He corrects my grammar sometimes, but they're easy to, it's easy for me to write when I do that. So what Ernest Holmes would say is probably what's most important for us is to allow ourselves to be irresistibly drawn to something that we love, that we want, activities that give us pleasure, right? And they challenge us. So activities that also stretch us and help us grow and that contribute to the greater good in the world. So you can kind of hear, I love doing it, I'm good at it, it challenges me, it adds something to the world. That when those 4 elements are present, we feel like we are in our element, okay? And you can ask yourself times in your life when you have felt that way, right? So I'll tell you one more story. When Leo and I have 2 daughters who are now 25 and 23, but when they were in middle school, my older daughter, Grace, was playing on a premier soccer team. And she'd been playing soccer for a number of years. And when she went to soccer, I would actually get my steps in because I would just walk around the soccer field while they practiced, 3 times a week. I was walking around the soccer field. And so one year, she had been playing on the A team for the soccer club. They dropped her to the B team. And she was devastated because she had been playing with the same girls for 4 or 5 years. And so I showed up at that first practice with her. She's with the B team. She's really sad that this is what she's doing. And the coach just wasn't kind. He wasn't supportive of her. He was sarcastic. He was always yelling at her. I did not like the way he was treating her. So we're at this practice. I'm already upset and angry that she's been dropped from the B team. Now I'm really mad at this coach for treating her this way. And so I'm walking around the soccer field, getting my steps in, and I moved over. I realized I was so mad that I couldn't be around the field she was practicing on, so I moved over to the next field, and I was just letting God have it, man. I was just like, God, this is not right, and you need to do something about this, because my daughter deserves to have a good soccer experience. So it's okay to talk to God like that, Just say, here's the way it lands for me. I want this situation to be improved. So I was praying like that in a kind of demanding way, saying, you've got to do something about this. And all of a sudden, I looked up, and there was a kind of a grove of trees, and the sunlight just poured through those trees. And it just took my breath away. It was so beautiful. And then I just felt like a hand on my head, and I heard in my mind, peace, be still, all is well. And all of that anger just washed out of me. And I realized, yes, all is well. I can trust that. And that was such an amazing experience that I was talking to a minister the next day, like, what was that? And she reminded me that I had been in a meditation practice for months, where every morning I had meditated, sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes an hour, but that had prepared me for that connection. And I want more of that. Don't you want more of that? Those moments when it transcends the experience you're having. So just as a quick aside, my daughter the next year got on a great team in a different neighborhood with a wonderful coach and had a fabulous experience that year. So all was well, right? So when you think about flow, I think about water flowing, right? And so that led me to this thought. This is a beautiful thought. This whole idea that flow is like being carried by a river. And here's something from Ernest Holmes. In the Colorado Rockies, there is a beautiful valley from which many fountains gush forth. Each fountain is different. More water comes from some than from others, but there is only one body of water at a deep subterranean level which flows through each one of them. We as individuals each have our own thoughts, feelings, hopes, aspirations, and desires, and yet each is directly and intimately connected with the one divine life, energy, and power. Each of us is a fountain of life. There is a God pressure back of each one of us, a life force seeking outlet through our thoughts and acts. There are many fountains, many individuals, but only one God pressure back of all. So think of yourself as a fountain of life. And we're actually called to be that individualized fountain of life, to allow life to flow through us. All right? So that means pay attention to those little niggles, those little callings. So, like if you're called to play pickleball, this is what happened to me. If you're called to play pickleball, go buy the paddle and the ball and take a lesson and play pickleball, right? Wholeheartedly enter into life, If you're called to paint and you've been thinking about that for a while, go buy the paints and the canvas and the brushes and start painting and take a lesson maybe. If you're called to cook, I know some of us are called to cook the high-fat cookies and take them to the unhoused. Do that. Step into what is calling you so that life can gush forward like a fountain. So let's talk for a minute about what gets in the way of all of that. What might prevent you? What might be a barrier to gushing like a fountain in your life? And so Csikszentmihalyi says there are 4 things that are barriers to moving into a flow state. The first is distraction. So being constantly interrupted and distracted means you won't go into a flow state. Just not going to happen. And so we have to turn off those interrupting devices, find privacy, find quiet so that we can do that. Here's a second one. Watching TV. Now his research was in the 80s. So if it was now, it would be watching TV, social media, watching YouTube videos, your last chance to watch TikTok videos. I think today is the last day. All those things are just interruptions in the flow of life. And his research showed people were rarely, occasionally a little bit, but rarely in a flow state in that study when they were watching TV. You know, it's just not what's happening to us when we're passively numbing ourselves out. That's not a flow state. The third thing is routine or habit. So when we're engaged in mindless, repetitive tasks, we're not going to move into a flow state. It's not like you have to give them all up because we all have them. But if all your life is mindless, repetitive tasks, routine, you might want to think about breaking out of that because routine works against being in a flow state. Okay, so that's telling us mix things up, learn a new sport, learn something new that you've never done before, drive a different route. You know, sometimes just for fun, because the creativity research shows that this will help with creativity, I will actually do my whole morning preparation, but in the wrong order. You like the wrong order? You know, it's like not what I usually do. You know, I'll put my makeup on the opposite side and do one half of my face and then do the other half, just to do it differently so that I break out of those habits. And the fourth one is multitasking. So the illusion that you can do multiple things at once. And some people are kind of addicted to the adrenaline rush that comes when you're like doing this and doing that and doing this and doing that and answering that call. And, you know, you're never going to move into a flow state when you're constantly interrupting yourself with a different task or a different idea. So those are the barriers to moving into it. Now, if you're wondering, okay, so what are the boosts to it? Like what should I be doing to make it more likely I'm going to move into a flow state? Would you like to know that? It's mindfulness, supported by the psychological research. Mindfulness, all right? So when we are mindful, that's that experience of being fully present in the moment, really, fully aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our sensations, what's happening around us, the sounds, the smells, the sights. That mindful experience prepares us for the transcendence of being in flow. Wouldn't you like to have more of that? So the good news is you're here at the Center for Spiritual Living. There are so many ways to prepare yourselves for a happier life here. One, I keep mentioning this, is morning prayers at 7 a.m. in the morning. If you're not getting that, like on your head, then or come to the meditation at 10 a.m. on Sunday. Make that part of your practice. Or maybe come and do a walking meditation on the trails out here. Make that part of your practice, to just have that time to slow down and be present. I made a whole list of things that you can do here. Obviously meditation, but maybe breath work too, you know, where you focus on your in-breath and your out-breath. And maybe add a mantra to that, like, I breathe in love, I breathe out tension. You can choose your mantra. But those things help move you into that mindful state that makes it possible to go into a flow state. Oh, I have a couple more. Another one is mindful eating. Does anybody do mindful eating where you actually just pay attention to each bite that you're taking? Feel the sensation of the food in your mouth and the taste on your taste buds, and allow yourself to be fully present with that bite one at a time. And the last one I wrote down was sound healing. I love sound healing sessions because when you're lying there and the sound is just washing over you, that sensation of being filled up with sound is part of the experience of building mindfulness. All right. So let me just summarize all this. First is, We can choose to be in a flow state, and we can choose that by doing something we love, that we're good at, we're getting better at, that challenges us, that we feel good about how it's contributing to the world, okay? And we can make time each day to consciously connect with our source, because that experience of the God pressure welling up inside of us is part of creating this flow experience. We can allow the life force to flow through us like a fountain. The fourth one is we must reduce the barriers to flow. So consciously turning off the TV, putting down social media, turning off the phone, creating moments of privacy and silence so that we can enter into that sweet space with the divine. And the fifth I find is the last thing we talk about, which is choose a mindfulness practice or two and practice it every day so that you then can feel that unification with your source. And so let Ernest Holmes here have the last word. I know there is a power for good, which is responding to me and bringing into my experience everything that is necessary to my unfoldment. I know there is a power for good that enables me to help others and to bless the whole world. Okay, I got it. Thank you. All right, I'm going to say a prayer for that. I'm just going to hold on to this puppy. Okay. So right here, right now, I open myself to that one source that wells up in me, that fills me with joy, that fills me with life. I recognize that that one source is the one mind, the one intelligence, the one love and presence that is alive in me and all around me, and alive in each person in this room and online. We are the magnificent expressions of spirit. And so knowing that, I also know that we have the capacity to feel ecstasy, to feel joy and happiness, that is our God-given state, that state of flow and connection. And I know that each one of us is called to bring good into the world, to do something that brings us joy and pleasure, to do work that matters. And so as we embrace that, what gives us pleasure and joy and contributes to the greater good is exactly where we need to be. We step into a fuller, richer life. I am so grateful to know that this is so. I am so grateful for teachers like Ernest Holmes and psychological researchers like Csikszentmihalyi, who help us understand the keys to a wonderful life. And I release these words now into the creative medium, confident that the creative medium is manifesting even as we speak. I say thank you, sweet spirit, and so it is. I can't leave. I got to stay because we're going to do the offering right now. So I just invite you to share what you can with the Center for Spiritual Living. We are so appreciative of all your gifts. It allows us to come together in this way in community. So thank you.
Open, may I be a vessel for to freely give.
Oh, there we go. Thank you. It wasn't me this time. All right, let's talk announcements. Okay, first of all, guess what's happening tonight? Woohoo! Community Song Circle. I should mention this is a way to bring more joy into your life. And I realized listening to the drum just then that another way to practice mindfulness is drum circles. I forgot
And there
to
are
mention
drums
that.
tonight too in the song circle. We
Okay.
get out the percussion.
You
so-
can get started tonight. All right. And I think it goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. You do not have to be a professional singer to come to the song circle. You can just love music. Our next one. So Dr. Bob is doing this amazing thing on, what are the dates there? February 2nd and February 9th, after the service from noon to 1:30. He's going to lead 2 workshops, and you're invited to come to both of them. The first one is called Old Story, New Story. And the second one is called Making Space for the New. And they're going to be wonderful. So if you'd like to come, sign up at the Ask Me desk or call the office and we'll get you on the list. And I hope that you will take advantage of this great opportunity for our community to come together and think about who we have been and who we want to be in the future. It's going to be wonderful. And Earth Stewards. So we have Earth Stewards are actually active right now around legislative action opportunities. So if you would like to receive information about what's happening in the legislature so that you can write our representatives, you'll want to sign up for Earth Stewards so that you can get those communications. And you can do that at the Ask Me desk as well. And a weather, it's funny because the last thing I read, there's going to be no snow this winter, but if it snows, we can find out whether a service, an event, or a class is canceled by coming to the website, or a notice might go out in Constant Contact. So if you're not on the email notifications, you might want to get signed up for that. I'm thinking we're going to make it without any of that. One last announcement someone handed to me. There's a Martin Luther King celebration Monday night at 7 at Unitarian Fellowship. So that's tomorrow. Yeah, Martin Luther King Day is tomorrow. So I invite you to celebrate, be part of that. All right.
All right. Well, thank you. If you're able, you can stand up with us, and we're going to sing out into this beautiful day. I hope you have a wonderful time in some of the sunshine.
Make me an instrument of peace.
family this week and the weeks to come. And I hope to see you tonight at the Song Circle at 6:30 if you want. Otherwise, we'll see you again soon. Have a great day.